Welcome to CalRTA's short tutorials. My name is Sue Breyer, and today I'll be taking you through newsletter tips number 2, the second in a 3-part series designed especially for new and veteran CalRTA Division newsletter editors. Today I'll be discussing the use of color in your newsletter and presenting a number of different text options available to you in composing your division newsletter. As you can see in these 2 examples, color can add an exciting dimension to your newsletter, and there are plenty of divisions out there that regularly incorporate color in their publications. Whether it's full blocks of bright colors, as you see here on the left, or colorful clip art, photos, and headlines on the right, color serves as a hook for the reader's eyes and naturally draws them into reading the content itself. However, a word of caution about using color. Avoid overloading your reader with color. Your objective is to use color to guide their attention and influence their impressions of the content, not to overwhelm them. Both of these pages use color to their advantage. The page on the left frames its content with a bright yellow border, but doesn't overwhelm the reader, leaving plenty of white space in the middle to allow for easy reading. Colorful clip art along the side adds to the page's travel theme. The page on the right has adopted an eye-catching bright blue and gold color scheme, with each colored content box presenting a different topic of information. The white border and the 3D announcement down at the bottom break up the pattern of blue and gold. Just as a long-winded guest speaker can lose their audience's attention, so too can long drawn-out articles in a newsletter. Newsletters are not newspapers, so the shorter format calls for shorter articles. Whenever you can, break up longer topics into a series of shorter articles, each with its own headline and text box. Break up your text with colorful images or clip art, and use bold, colorful headlines to catch the reader's eye. You can always add hyperlinks to allow readers to access additional information without having to include it in your article. Also, avoid continuing your articles on a later page, as this can sometimes confuse your reader and make it difficult to locate. To err on the side of caution, begin and end your articles on the same page. The President's message is often considered the crown jewel of the newsletter, as it includes a gold mine of timely and important information for division members. Like the story of Goldilocks and the 3 Bears, some President's messages are too long, some are too short, and some are just right. The 2 President's columns on this page reflect the just right category. Presidents should be encouraged to keep their messages short and sweet. To keep their columns brief, consider whether a topic can be removed from the President's column and covered in more detail in a separate article elsewhere. Bylines and pull quotes are standard practice for newspaper and magazine writers. Bylines give credit where credit is due and honor the time and effort the writer has put into his or her work. Pull quotes are used to emphasize small excerpts or testimonials from the text. Since most folks tend to scan rather than read, pull quotes provide them with some focus anchors to fix their attention on the most important parts of an article. Sometimes you have no choice but to run a detailed full-page article in your newsletter. If that's the case, what you want to avoid at all costs is the gray page syndrome. Lots and lots of black text on a white background, At first glance, it simply looks gray, like the page on the left. Now, the image on the right shows the same text redesigned in a 2-column format with a large image in the middle to break up and add color to the text. A bold headline at the top and a small colorful image at the bottom of the page make this page much less overwhelming and much, much more inviting. And finally, let's talk about headlines. Not labels, but headlines. There is a difference. Many newsletters simply use labels, like the ones here on the left, to identify the content of each article or block of text that they have in their newsletter. Now, contrast these labels with these action-oriented headlines. My City Youth Center empowers community youth. Nice, complete sentence with an action word right there in the middle. Christmas comes early for local teachers. Complete sentence with an element of action in the middle. Retirement is a special time. Not so much action here, but certainly a complete thought. What's new? Share at-home activities. Again, you've got your action right there in the center. COVID-19 vaccination brings hope to Americans. Division III awards, $21,000 in scholarships. Congratulations to our scholarship students. And finally, on Action Week, we took our concerns to Congress. We took our concerns. Sometimes labels are appropriate, but for articles including the president's message, headlines draw the reader in and make them want to read more. Thank you for joining me in today's tutorial. Please check out our other 2 tutorials on newsletter tips. Number 1 covers front page design, inside page layouts, and content. And tutorial number 3 covers hyperlinks, QR codes, clip art, and imagery. Hope to see you then.